Dear viewers, for 52 days, the police could not find him. For 52 days, the government said nothing. For 52 days, a man accused of serious electoral violence stayed out of jail, not because the law was weak, but because power was strong. Then, one judge spoke, and within hours, the absconder surrendered. No encounter, no political negotiation, no midnight arrest drama, just the constitution doing its job. This is the story of how the Bombay High Court reminded Maharashtra and the country of one uncomfortable truth. When the judiciary stands firm, even political power has to bend. Hello, I am Tejas and this is On a Stake. In this video, let me show you how Maharashtra Minister Bharat Gogawale's son was forced to surrender after the Bombay High Court came down heavily on the Maharashtra government. But before we start, you know the drill. Please do subscribe to Lokmat Times if you haven't already and press the bell icon to never miss an update. Now, let's rewind to December 2nd, 2025. Municipal council elections were underway in Mahad district. Prohibitory orders were in force. Police deployment was heavy. Polling booths were legally protected zones. Yet, violence erupted. Supporters of two rival political factions clashed. On one side, supporters of the Eknath Shinde-led Shiv Sena. On the other side, supporters of the Ajit Pawar-led NCP. And at the center of the FIR stood a powerful name, Vikas Gogawale, son of Maharashtra Cabinet Minister Bharat Gogawale. According to the complaint, motorcycles arrived near polling booths. Threats were issued, violence followed, and the election process itself was disrupted. Cross FIRs were filed, but one FIR stood out. It named Vikas Gogawale and others under serious charges including rioting, assault, attempt to murder under Section 307, influencing the election process during active polling. This was not a street fight. This was alleged electoral violence, an offense that strikes at democracy itself. On December 23rd, a sessions court rejected anticipatory bail for Vikas Gogawale and his cousin. That court's reasoning was blunt. The offense was serious, the accused were influential, the allegations involved violence during elections. The court also noted something crucial. Vikas Gogawale already had 3 prior criminal cases, including one under Section 307. Legally, the road ahead was straightforward. Bail rejected, accused to be arrested. That's how the system is supposed to work, except it did not. Days passed, then weeks. Police claimed they were trying to trace him, but the accused remained missing. Not underground, not abroad, not unreachable. In fact, the minister himself went on record saying something extraordinary. He told the media his son was in contact with him. Let that sink in. The father could reach him, the police could not. For 52 days, the state machinery failed to arrest a man whose bail had already been rejected. The turning point came not during a hearing filed by Vikas Gogawale. It came incidentally during a bail hearing of the rival factions accused. In that courtroom sat Justice Madhav Jamdar of the Bombay High Court. A TV interview of Minister Bharat Gogawale was brought to the court's notice. The judge listened. Then he began asking questions. Questions the government had no answers to. He asked, "Is this the rule of law in Maharashtra?" He observed, "The position on record shows that the rule of law is adversely affected." Then came the line that cut through the political fog. Ministers' children commit crimes and roam freely. They remain in touch with their parents, but the police cannot find them. The courtroom fell silent because this was no longer about one bail application. This was about the collapse of accountability. Justice Jamdar did not stop there. He asked something even more uncomfortable. Is the chief minister so helpless that he cannot speak against even one minister? Think about that. A High Court judge openly questioning whether the state's highest executive authority had surrendered control to political compulsions. The judge went further. He questioned why the same minister was being honored to hoist the national flag on Republic Day while his son was absconding in a criminal case. And then came the most powerful sentence of the hearing. There are no special citizens, no ministers' sons, no political surnames, no VIP exemptions. Just citizens equal before the law. When the Advocate General argued that police were trying but unable to arrest the accused, Justice Jamdar replied with a line that exposed the truth. Anyone can be arrested within 24 hours if the government so chooses. This was not anger, this was indictment. The court was saying what citizens whisper every day. that non-arrest is often not inability but choice, and suddenly the government's narrative collapsed. The judge then did something rare. He asked the Advocate General to go back, take instructions, not just from the police but from the minister, and if required, from the Chief Minister himself. After an hour, the AG returned with an assurance. The minister would speak to his son, he would be asked to surrender. Justice Jamdar accepted the statement, but with a deadline. Ask him to surrender before tomorrow's hearing. The matter was listed as first on board. That is judicial language for zero tolerance. On the morning of January 23, 2026, something changed. After 52 days of vanishing, after weeks of excuses, after endless claims of search efforts, Vikas Gogawale surrendered to Mahad police, not after a manhunt, not after surveillance, but within hours of a judge speaking plainly. He entered through the back gate of the police station. No cameras, no statements. Along with him, 2 other accused surrendered as well. The law, frozen for nearly 2 months, suddenly came alive. This case is not just about one minister's son. It exposes how power actually works. For 52 days, the police had authority. The law had provisions. The FIR existed. Bail was rejected. Yet, nothing moved. But the moment judicial authority intervened publicly and firmly, everything fell into place. When the executive hesitates, when police look the other way, when political loyalty outweighs legality, only one institution remains capable of forcing accountability: the court. The judiciary did not do anything extraordinary. It merely did what it is constitutionally meant to do. The extraordinary part is that everything else failed. Police delayed, politics shielded, the system bent, until one judge refused to bend. This case proves something important. Institutions don't collapse overnight. They erode slowly when silence replaces courage, and they recover the moment someone decides to speak plainly. When the judiciary shows spine, political power has no option but to fall in line. Not because judges are powerful, but because the Constitution still is. That's the real takeaway from the Gogawale case. A reminder that democracy survives not because power behaves, but because somewhere, someone still dares to question it. And that is today's honesty.